a bit more insight in terms of why we are still not in the issue around credentials. We are joined by Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. Stella, earlier on we were told that the adoption of the credentials session will start at around 9 o'clock. It's around 10:30 now, and we still see that it hasn't started. Why is that so?
Well, Mbali, you will remember that there was a court challenge that was thrown to the conference, and now the court has finalized the matter that therefore had an impact on the credentials. As you know, that there were 9 branches that were affected. Now the credentials committee needed to go and clean the credentials and make sure that they filtered all those branches that have been given a right to participate. That is what has led to the delays as we speak now. They are getting ready, as I said earlier. They're going to be coming here and making a presentation so that we continue with the business of the conference.
When you are saying that they need to clear those credentials, if you can just take us through what were the issues before these credentials get adopted by this House, what do they need to iron out in terms of those issues?
Well, there was nothing that was coming from the ANC side, except that when the regional conference of Rubusana was supposed to take place, some delegates were unhappy and went to court to challenge the process, to say the process was not fair to them, and the court ruled that the ANC must first attend to all its internal processes. So that was done because there were rerun of the branches that were affected. Of course, there were disputes by these branch members. Then the PDRC, which is the Provincial Disciplinary Committee, the Dispute Resolution Committee, listened to those appeals. But the members again saw the need to appeal to the higher structure in terms of the NDRC. They also issued verdicts. And those verdicts are what was taken to court today to say if the court has ruled that those branches must not participate, then it means it must be extended to the provincial conference. Unfortunately, for those that were complaining, they lost the case because the court disagreed with that thinking. So that therefore means that you go back, because we have already said we are cleaning up this process, we are including this number. Now you bring back because the court has said these people have a right to participate.
Earlier on, there was an issue around some of these branches. We were told that those votes will be quarantined. So does this mean now that these votes that will be quarantined will no longer be quarantined and they will still participate, or it will still stand that those voting delegates from those regions, those votes will still be quarantined?
Well, the issue of the quarantine was talking to branches that had identified that there was manipulation of processes in their respective branches. Wherein today we sleep, we have 25 people, and when we wake up, we have 75. Then the branches raised concerns to say, we do suspect that this system, there's a manipulation of some sort. And this is what has led to not only the delays of the Rubusana conference, but also the provincial conference. 2 regions that were affected, Rubusana and Krisani. And the decision was taken that we cannot punish the branches because of what the individuals did. Because you have heard that this matter involved the staffing from Lutuli also and the provincial offices and the regional offices. Therefore, that meant that the branch did do what was expected of it, but then some people in naughty corners decided to be malicious. And now the ANC decided that let them participate, but because this is an elective conference, make sure that you quarantine the votes. It means you put those votes aside in a particular envelope. If it's 18 branches that are affected, you put those, you do the counting, and then once you are done with the counting, you're able to look into material issues that can come out of that.
And then Stella, when it comes to the outcome of the court, you are somebody who sits on the PTT. Speaking to the ANC earlier on, they were quite happy with the court outcome. You must also be delighted by the news coming out from the High Court.
Well, we are delighted. I want to say that because this has been delaying the conference. I mean, like earlier on, you were here, people were just clinging on that part to say this conference cannot continue because there are those delegates. And now the court has really clarified the matter. I don't believe we have any reason to be dilly-dallying if you are certain that we want to make sure that this provincial conference did sit. And if people have then doubts, of course, this is a numbers game. And therefore, I understand that losing at court means that there's a reduction on your side, or you were hoping for a reduction on the other side, and you did not get that. But you are here to ensure that today the conference proceeds. I said, once the credentials are presented here, we're going to move for adoption of the committees also, and from there we make sure that we introduce the Electoral Commission, which is going to conduct the elections, and these delegates seated here are the ones that must endorse that. After that, we're going for the confirmation of the nominations for the top 5, and then we go to the financial report that must be presented by the financial secretary. And all of that has to happen tonight. And therefore, that is why we want to appeal to every delegate to make sure that they prioritize the ANC. We have tried everything that we could do in our power, but now, honestly, we can't want to be caught.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that is Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. She is a PTT member and is the head of communications here in the Eastern Cape.